Tip number 6. Gathering resources is well thought of in this game, in the sense that it is not too much grindy, since most of the items you can craft or build requires just reasonable quantities of ingredients. However, in some instances, such as for the metals, they are considered heavy, and the challenge is not so much in gathering large quantities, but it is in being able to carry the metals with considerable weight in the inventory, in the hopes that you can bring back home as much of the metals as you can. But there are solutions I wish I had known when I started playing the game. Solution 1 is to purchase and equip the Meggingjord belt at the trader, which increases your backpack carrying capacity from 300 to 450 kilograms. Another solution is to utilize a cart that you can craft to carry out large amounts of metals from one location to another. The same can be said with a boat. You can load items in large quantities in your boat. Tip number 7. There are many kinds of food in the game, and as in most cases, some of the early food that you can see and gather will be used as ingredients for more advanced recipes later on. Some foods are abundant and easy to obtain, such as raw meat and raw neck meat, in contrast to red mushrooms, raspberries and blueberries. Yet, these are important ingredients to make carrot soup and quince jam, respectively. Therefore, I would recommend early on to eat meat and try your best to reserve berries and mushrooms for future recipes and potions. Tip number 8. Bone fragments is in early game an important resource required for crafting and upgrading of your weapons and armor. You loot these out of skeleton mobs, but you don't find them as often as your regular basic grading mobs. You will likely have a shortage of bones in the early game, and an easy solution for this is to find a burial chamber dungeon, and within the dungeon you can locate a violet-looking evil bone pile. This is the skeleton spawn point. It will keep spawning skeletons regularly, and you can farm these skeletons to your heart's content. Therefore, be careful not to destroy the spawn point when going down the burial chambers, and you can mark the said burial chamber on your map, et voila! You have your very own bone farm that you can come back on for future bone farming when the need arises. Tip number 9. While scouring around biomes for resources, you will also stumble upon plants that say seed of some type, such as carrot seeds or turnip seeds. And for example, with the turnip seeds, you can plant these seeds to harvest turnips at first. It is then recommended that instead of cooking these turnips, you first replant these turnips into seed-giving turnip plants, which in turn will provide you with 3 turnip seeds each. This way, you will triple your amount of seeds for better food production in the future. Tip number 10. There are trees all around in this game, but something that does not seem very obvious at first glance is that there are different kinds of trees, and more so, they each have their own unique kind of wood. For example, pay attention to the pines in the Black Forest for collecting core wood. Core wood is used, for example, for constructing spike defenses, among others. Or pay attention to ancient trees in the swamp in order to collect the ancient bark wood, just to name a few. Bonus tip: when out there in the world cutting wood, you can easily increase your harvesting speed of cutting trees. You can do this by locating multiple trees that stand side by side, hitting these with only one swing of your axe. This way, you can hit 2 trees, or a tree and a log, or even hit 2 or 3 logs with a single swing. Very efficient axe swinging, if you ask me.